Welcome to the show, everyone. Remember, it's not just rock and roll, it's Holy Joe rock and roll. Let's get this show started.
What's up, Slammers on YouTube? It's Holy Joe rock and roll coming to you once again, live and unscripted. It's January the 3rd, 2013, and as predicted, we did go into the financial cliff, so-called financial cliff, but only for a couple of days, right? Reluctantly, the House Republicans did vote on a compromise bill presented and voted by the Senate to raise taxes on the top 1%ers of wage earners in the United States and keep the Bush tax cuts, basically make them law, make them permanent for the bottom 99% of Americans who are wage earners in the United States. The tax on dividends and capital gains goes from 15% to 20%, which is pretty reasonable. It's not the massive increase that we expected, or some people expected. And the 2% temporary tax cut on Social Security that was given to wage earners has been repealed. Now, overall, I guess it's the best that you can hope for. And what Ronald Reagan used to say is, look, if you can get 80% of what you asked for, take it. And this is a deal that nobody really loves, but I think we can probably come to like it if you are paying taxes in the United States. Like if you're making over $400,000 a year, for you to pay 3.5–4% more on the marginal income, that means that money above $400,000 will be taxed an additional 4%. Let's be reasonable. I think you can afford it. They're saying that people who make over $1 million will see their taxes go up by $170,000. Now that's a lot of money. I granted that's a lot of money, but that means that you're probably going to keep $600,000 or $700,000 of the $1 million. By any stretch of the imagination, $600,000 in the United States is a lot of money. Look, if you're a small business owner, this is what I never understood. One of the arguments that the Republicans try to put out there is that raising taxes on the top 2% would hurt small businesses that file as individuals. Well, guess what? If it's going to hurt you and you file as an individual, incorporate. Very simple. Incorporate. And then get the benefits of a corporation. Real simple. The amount of money that you would pay a tax lawyer to do your corporate income taxes is going to be marginal compared with how much you're going to save if that's an issue for you. The 2%, the temporary 2% deduction for Social Security, I'm glad that they repealed that because, listen, you're paying into Social Security for a reason. It's not an entitlement. It's an insurance program. And I want to talk about means testing Social Security. I think it's a terrible idea, and here's why. Just take two people who have the same job, whatever they are, 2 software engineers, 2 auto mechanics, 2 assembly line workers, 2 teachers, whatever, 2 doctors. They both work the same job. They both make about the same amount of money. They both pay into Social Security, and their employer matches or whatever. They're both paying for their whole lives into Social Security. Now, let's say one of them, whatever their job is, one of them is a spendthrift. He buys the newest car. He's spending all of his money, goes on vacations, has a drug problem, who knows, whatever, spends all of his money, and when he comes to retire, he has no savings, he has shit. He gets Social Security under any kind of a means testing system. The other guy, who maybe, hey, he bought a Ford pickup, he kept it for 10 years, he invested some of his money wisely, he bought a house, he didn't have a drinking problem, didn't have a drug problem, saved his money. After 40 years of working, dude's 65, or whatever, woman 65, probably he's rich. Probably he has a couple $1 million in his retirement program, 401k, savings, investments, whatever. Under some kind of a means testing program, he would not get Social Security. Yet he or she paid into the system the same as the other dude. That's wrong. I think, look, if you're going to pay into it, you should get it. If you're entitled to it, you should get it. There should be no means testing. That's just bullshit. If you want to raise the retirement age on younger workers, I understand that. Hey, people are living longer. Why not raise the age slowly? And they're talking about raising it by 2 years over the next 20 years. So that means like every year would go up, what, 1 month? So it would be a 1 month delay for every year. That's pretty reasonable. And I think, look, nobody wants to work more than they have to, but if you're 65 and you're mentally and physically competent, you probably want to keep working. It's only when you, whatever, either you think you have enough money you've saved up or whatever. There's all kinds of reasons for why you want to retire. That's your decision. But I'm just talking about the means testing part of it. There should be no means testing for arguably an insurance program that you pay into, your employer pays into, and you expect something coming back. That's the deal that we've made. That's the contract we've made for Social Security. Now, either A, you change the contract, or B, you keep the contract. And I think that's an important fact. So we did fall into the cliff, but we kind of pulled ourselves out. And the next battle is going to be the debt ceiling debacle, or raising of the debt ceiling. Basically, no deal, part of this deal, no spending cuts were instituted, and they're talking about maybe, moderating this spending sequester a little bit. Listen, overall, this part of the deal was reasonable, and the stock market reacted positively to it because there is at least knowledge of what tax rates are going to be for 2013 and going forward. So that's a positive. Stay tuned. Stay sweet. It's 2013. It's Holy Joe Rock and Roll coming at you, and I'll see you next time. Till then,
thank you for watching
peace.
the Holy Joe Rock and Roll Show. See you next time.